Once we have Node installed, you might want to open up your favorite text editor to start writing some JavaScript. You can use whatever you want for this. The most popular one right now is Visual Studio Code, or VS Code. Again, you can use whatever you want for this, but if you don't have VS Code, you might want to download it for your system. Whether that's Mac, or Windows or Linux. Whatever your operating system is, you can download VS Code here. And once you've downloaded it, you can open it up and start writing our first Node file. So first thing, we're going to create a new file, and we're going to save it as hello.js. In my case, I already have a file called hello, so I'll replace it. And in the editor area here, I can start writing some Node code. And by Node code, it's just JavaScript. So I could write a function, say find meaning, just like we do in JavaScript, and I'll return 42. Now, if we want to open up our terminal and run this program, we can use the terminal in our operating system, but VS Code allows us to open up a terminal by going to the terminal option and selecting new terminal, which gives us a terminal inside of VS Code. Now, you might prefer to have the terminal separate and not clutter up your screen here too much. And that's okay. That's a personal preference. But now we can run commands like node, which would run our REPL. But if we pass in the name of the file that we just wrote, Node will run that file for us. Okay, and since our function didn't actually do anything, it looks like it's working. So let's just make sure by console.logging the result of find meaning. Awesome, it looks like things are working. Now, one of the great things about VS Code is that it supports a lot of different extensions for Node.js. These are add-ons that make our development life a little bit easier. And one that I like to make sure is installed is the Visual Studio IntelliCode plugin, which gives us some additional information and auto-completion items for when we're writing our code. So we can install that by pressing install. And now in our JavaScript files, if we start writing some code, the topmost element here, the first suggestion, is the one that's most likely to be relevant to your program. So in this case, I actually want to be calling a function on the object class, say object.assign. The IntelliCode plugin makes the auto-completion in VS Code a little bit more effective. And you can scroll through these plugins and select whichever ones you prefer. Say we're making containers with Docker and we want to install a plugin for that. We could do that. But that's for later in the course. And it's completely optional. Again, you can use any IDE or editor that you prefer. I just think that VS Code is great for the purposes of this course, and my recommendation if you don't already have a strong preference. It's all up to you which editor you choose. And at the end of the day, as a developer, you're going to be picking and customizing your environment however you like. The most important thing is that you're comfortable with your own environment. All right, I'll see you in the next one.